Hey everyone, Joe here. Well, today I thought I'd talk about setting up a small home studio. Now, I'm going to be doing this vlog style with my camera. My arm will probably get tired. But I thought I'd talk to everyone about some things that you may need and kind of go over a lot of the stuff that I have in my little studio here in case you want to set one up your own for yourself at home. Now, you don't need a whole lot of space if you don't plan on doing group shots and stuff. Here in my little studio, this wide angle lens may make it look very big, but in reality, it's only about the size of an average bedroom. It's not very big at all. Matter of fact, the ceiling, I don't like but a few inches, touch it, and I'm not very tall at all, only 5'6". So yeah, you don't need a whole lot of space, about 12 foot by 12 foot, and you're good to go. And like I said, that even includes, well, all my computer and stuff I got sitting over here to the side. So yeah, I wanted to go over a lot of the gear and stuff that I have in mind. Most of it, well, pretty much all of it is at the bottom end of budget gear. Because, a lot of people can't afford really expensive stuff. I can't, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of money. So I thought I'd go over some of the things I got, and you might be able to find them. Of course, everything I have is always linked down in the description below. In case anybody's interested, you can always find it listed down in my little studio gear. So, that said, let's go over some of the stuff I have in here. Now, let's first start talking about my backdrops and stuff. Now, up here on the ceiling, let's get in here where you can see close. I have one of those hanging systems where actually it's designed to actually be mounted onto the wall. However, if you notice, I have a door here. So my solution was simply just mount it to the rafters in the ceiling. That's why if you'll notice these wood boards I have here at the top, they go from one rafter to the other. That way I can mount those through the screws and stuff directly into it. Now the ones I have here are the photodiox ones, which have the plastic chains and stuff on them, which is fine for me, but a lot of people do like the Manfrotto ones that actually have metal chains, but they also cost a bit more too. So it depends on how abusive you're going to be with your stuff. Actually, I had mine pretty short here, so this is actually just less than one chain, and I got 2 units set up. So yeah, instead of mounting, kind of like this way onto the wall, I turn around and mounted mine straight up, and which works pretty good. And now on these right here, this is what do you call it? That's Savage Gray. Oh yeah, and this is Savage Super Black. That's Savage Fashion Gray, excuse me. The brand Savage. It's just regular seamless paper. Nothing too fancy, but it looks really nice. Now, since I'm in a small studio, it's easier for me to put light on something than it is to take light off. That's why you see me having a gray and black up there. Because I can easily throw light onto the gray, make it white. But I have to really pull somebody really far away from the background to make the gray go completely black. So that's why I have the black. Just to make it easier since we are working in a smaller space. Now, of course, you see this other metal pipe up here. That's for holding muslin backdrops. Most of them I keep folded up, put away. If you're worried about wrinkles in muslins, just simply when you hang them up, just spritz them with water, like a little water squirt bottle. Wrinkles will fall out in about 30 minutes by the time it dries. Okay. Now, on these right here, I got little clamps. I got a bunch of extra clamps in this front one, just because I was just put them up out of the way. But I use that in little pipes, kind of bring them down. Now, I want to talk to you about setting these up. I leave mine up all the time. You're not really supposed to. Especially if you live in a humid environment, those will sag with you. My solution was I went to the local, not a hardware store, but a local pipe store, and I bought some, basically it's like 2-inch stainless pipe, 20 foot long. I bought it, and I cut my pieces off here. So basically the pipe just barely fits inside the paper roll, so no matter how much humidity I got, these never really sagged enough to even cause any issues. But if you leave them up there for a long time, I noticed mine was starting to do this before I put the pipe in. And so, yeah, especially in rainy season here in the Philippines. So that that stainless pipe, just kind of put it in there. What I did was on one end of the pipes, I just wrapped a little paper tape just to make it a little snug, bumped it up in there pretty tight. Hey, good to go. So I don't have to worry about sagging on it. It's pretty much the same type of pipe that I got hanging up here, just it's like 2 inches, maybe 2 inches and a quarter. I forgot the exact size. So anyway, yeah, after you get those, that you're going to need backdrops of some types. Like I said, I got those. I got some couple, 4 or 5 cloth ones over here. Let's get the camera. I'll zoom in for you, if you can see. Yeah, can't hardly see. It's dark. But anyway, let me zoom back in on my face. If you really want to see my ugly face, there we go. I can easily hang those up. Muslins backdrops you can buy fairly cheap, but they're always this is not really in style that much anymore. So it really depends on what you're looking for. Now I've got some more that recently came in. A company sent to me. There's going to be a review coming on probably next week about that. I have to get Rose here in the studio to do some photos and stuff in front of them, because what really good is showing a picture of a muslin backdrop if you don't have somebody posing in front of it. Because that's what really matters, what the final photos look like. So I got her coming into the studio Monday, and we're going to be doing that. Now, other things you're going to need is lighting. And, yeah, pretty much you can't really take any photos without lighting. Now, here in a small studio like I have here, you don't need flash units. Now, I have the DGBs right here. Let me knock a lighting stand over. Now, these are the DB800s. Pretty nice. These run you, right here, about 320 watt seconds. They run you about $350 each. I have 4 of them. However, you really don't need that many. Matter of fact, you can get away with just 2 speed lights here in the studio. You really can. Especially, it really depends on what kind of photos and stuff you're taking. We'll get the lighting look a bit better. But yeah, if you're just starting off, 2 speed lights really is all you need, because that's going to be more than enough power. You don't need that much extra power. The main reason I got those because I got tired charging batteries. And the model lamps really do help for portraits, what I'm doing. I need extra light for focusing and for tutorials and stuff I've been doing for everybody. But other than that, you know, speed lights work great. You know, I've been using the Yongnuo YN560 Mark IVs. You've got one of the 660s. I got one of the Mark IIIs. They all work wonderful. I have like probably a dozen of them, and you really don't need but like I said 2 of them. And you get those very affordable. Get them very cheap. Now the stands here I'm using, these are 9-foot stands. Now I would never, these are like generic ones, basically like the newer ones I list all the time. You really don't need to go 9 foot high with these. I would not, because honestly, after you get something about, you know, hand high, it starts to go iffy. The good thing is I can really spread this base out and get a really wide base. That way you're not worried about something tipping over. And of course, I always recommend sandbags. Get plenty of sandbags and put lots of gravel in them. Matter of fact, I put the gravel in Ziploc bags and stick the Ziploc bags of these. That way we got extra protection to kind of protect you from, you know, gravel spilling out and stuff in your studio. So yeah, you're going to need lighting, but you don't need expensive lighting. I listed a while back those newer S-type brackets with the Bowen mounts. You can get those. Now the soft boxes like I have here, this little photo diox, this is a 36-inch one. These work wonderful. These are only about like around $50, give and take. The grid's an additional, you know, $40, $50. I think the grid's overpriced, but I guess it makes it for the lower cost of the softbox. Now these I got right now, got the Alien B ring on them. However, you can get the, when I bought these, they had the Bowen's ring. So you can switch them out, which is really good in case you go from one to have a lighting setup to another. Easily switch those things out. So yeah, that's the lighting stands I've been using. Now, so the softbox 36-inch, really all somebody needs really to get started. One of those, light, put your one speed light in one of those. Use the S-type brackets, and of course the backdrop needs a light on it, or you can turn around and use that light as a hair light. It really depends on what kind of photo you're doing, and if you want any light on the backdrop or not. Now, for fill light, like I said, you don't need another speed light. Just get you one of these lighting stands. I have these also listed down in the description below. Make sure I'm zoomed out here. Yeah, one of these right here with the 5-in-1 reflectors. This works wonderful. I did a video a while back on how to set those up more correctly, and I'll try to link some of this stuff up in the description if I remember. So anyway, yeah, that's all you really need. That can be your extra light there. That'd be your third light, because all you're going to use is fill anyway. It's going to be low powered. Just get one of those. It's cheaper. Now you see me with these other ones here. You really don't need these unless you're getting into more specialized type photography. Now, if you're doing product photography, I do recommend rectangle ones and square ones, rectangle ones over round ones for products and stuff, because the catch lights and stuff on the lights and stuff on the side of the bottles, reflections, don't look good when they're round when you're doing product photography. That's the reason I have that one. I have these is for product shots mostly. But yeah, now that's basically what you need to get started. Now I do have a beauty dish down here. Let me see if I can get my camera, show it here on the floor. Yeah, that's my Photodiox 18-inch beauty dish, I think it is. And I have it here on a little boom stand. Now these little stands can be a little of a pain to tighten up sometimes, especially these budget ones. I have a little piece of rubber stuck between mine, and I clamp it down with a piece of bicycle inner tube. That way it doesn't slip. One of them doesn't, one of them does. I got one over here for my microphone stand. Boom, it's the same type. You know, I got letter B on this one, that's A over there. And now this one don't slip at all. I don't know why that one does. Maybe it's just the extra heavy weight on it. But if they do, like I said, put a little bicycle inner tube, a little rectangle piece of it, just clamp it in there with it, you know, to hold. Now, yeah, so that's the lighting side. Now let's talk about the camera gear side. Now currently I'm filming with my 80D here. Now, you don't need a whole lot of camera. You don't need a professional high-end camera for studio photos. You really, really, really do not. Matter of fact, that would be completely overkill. If you're going to be printing, say something like an A3 Plus prints, which is up to like 19 inches, but something like 13 but 19 inches, we use A3 Plus. Anything that size or below, which is pretty much 99% of the photos people are going to be buying, with an APC camera, like the Canon 80D or even the Rebel cameras, is completely overkill. And so anybody that's wanting to get a full frame on those high-end studio cameras, those are only for people who might have the possibility that they need to print large prints. I'm talking like larger than 24 by 36. So like a 5DSR, while I would love to have one, is super overkill. It really is. Now let's talk about lenses. When it comes to taking photos here in the studio, the main aperture you're going to be using for most of your shots, f8. Which is a good thing, because if everything's great at f8, even if you have like let's say like this other lens right here, basic kit lens, 18 to 55, wonderful lens at f8. Now grant you, shooting on an APS-C camera, you don't have to use f8. f6.3 and f7.1 are more than adequate. Matter of fact, you'll get the same depth of field at f7.1 on a Canon 80D, like an APS-C camera, as you would at full frame at f11. So it's more than enough depth of field, which makes it really great to use APS-C in a studio. Some may disagree, but each to their own. Spend your money how you want to. So yeah, now focal lengths. Let's talk about focal lengths. This one pretty much covered most everything you need, but if you just wanted to go extra, extra sharp, you know, 35 mil. Let's talk about this. 35 mil is the equivalent of a 50 mil on APS-C. Actually about 56 on the Canon 80D, about 50 on Nikons and Sonys. Those are great for half body shots. However, do not get cropped in too tight on the head using a 35. it will make things start to stretch and make the face and stuff look distorted and stuff. And you really don't want that. You want to keep the face and stuff looking nice. So if you're at a distance now, say like 4, 5 feet, you're good to go. Would not get closer than 3 feet using a 35 whatsoever. And for you overseas folks, that's 1 meter. Now, if you're going to go in close some headshots and stuff, the 50 is more around an 80 millimeter. So, yeah, I really do recommend, like this 50 millimeter STM. Oh, this is an amazing lens. You shoot stuff at f7.1 on that through the 80D. It's about as sharp as it gets. That lens, I own that 18 to 35 art, and that lens is close. That lens is really close, especially when you're shooting around f7.1. It's really sickening close. So, and it's a $125 lens. So, like I said, don't spend your money on stuff you don't need. Now, we've talked about the cameras and lenses. You don't need really expensive stuff. Unfortunately, you're going to need a computer system. And there's just no way around that. You're going to have to edit your own photos unless you're paying somebody to have them edited for you. In that case, you're going to end up spending, a lot of money and stuff. And that could take away from your entire profit. Now, I have a new computer here. And let me see if I can show you. Here you go. Down here. This is my new HP Omen. I picked it up. 15-inch laptop. And here's my display. Here's the BenQ BL3200 PT display. You don't need a hugely over-expensive display. Now, mine was when I bought it, the price has really come down a lot. But you do want something that is at least 100% sRGB. And while the display in my laptop is not, it's like 67%. The colors are still close enough for me, doing something while I'm traveling. But the display here is 100% sRGB and 80% Adobe RGB. That's really important because you really want to know what those colors look like when you're editing them. And of course, you want to make sure everything is color calibrated. These are very essential, very important. Get the light over here. Calibrate your monitor. That way, when you get the photos and stuff in, whatever you see is how they should look when they get printed. If the person you're sending to them to have printed has their stuff calibrated also. If they're using the data color system, that's even better because you're pretty much sure when you get them back, they look exactly the way it was when you edited them. So yeah, you gotta have a computer system to edit stuff. You don't need a fast one for photos. Matter of fact, if you're using Adobe Lightroom, it's just slow no matter what you use it on. And you really don't need a high-end video card whatsoever. If even a video card, basically the integrated GPU in the Intel processors is enough for Lightroom, really it is. And but you do need storage space. You need plenty of space to put stuff. But a high-end processor? No, not really. High-end graphics card? No. Just want something with a fast, drive in it, lots of space. And that's pretty much enough for most, photo retouching. I'm not saying graphics editing, saying photo retouching. Of course, if you do any kind of video work and stuff, you might want to go to get a high-end one. Especially if you're doing using kind of like Premiere and stuff. Of course, if you're using a Mac, you got Final Cut Pro, which pretty much doesn't really scale too well if you go from low end to high end. So it'll pretty much just get, even if you got a small Mac Mini, Final Cut Pro still works great. Don't even need it. But yeah, my computer here is the HP Omen. It's the new 2017 model. It's got the i7 7700 HQ, which is the one that's got the base speed about 2.8 gigahertz, a little bit slower than the top end. However, it does throttle up to 3.5 megahertz, what we call it. And it has the SSD, also has the regular 7200 RPM hard drive, as well as the NVIDIA GTX 1050 video card, which is very handy for editing video in Premiere, which is very graphics card intensive. So, but unless you're going to be editing my wedding photo videos and stuff, like I said, you really don't need a PC that's that much power and stuff. But anyway, that's it for this little vlog. I wanted to talk to people about You really do need to start your own studio. You need software and hardware to edit it, like your Adobe Lightroom in a PC or Mac. You need some backdrop system, some budget lights, budget stands, and basically budget camera. Well, I wouldn't say the 80D is a budget camera, but it is one of the lower end ones when you compare it to like the 5D Mark III or even the 6D for that matter. But anyway, like I said, you don't need really high end. You just need the basic stuff, and that stuff's really all it is. The basic stuff you really do need. So anyway, this is turned out to be like a 21-minute vlog video. So anyway, everyone, I hope this kind of explains a few things. Hopefully it helps you out, figure out what you need when you're starting your home studio. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up's always highly appreciated. If you're not a subscriber to my channel yet, please take the time to subscribe. Subscribing is free. It's for you. I'll let you know when I release more videos. Until next time, everyone, thank you for watching.